Hello there, everyone, and a very happy Thursday. I don't know if you just caught that, but I forgot what day it was, so I just had to remind myself, yes, it's Thursday today. So hello there, everyone. As you can see, I have a very special guest with me today. I have the lovely Aditi with me, and she will be creating a beautiful, beautiful card with her signature style of bold florals and some added texture in there as well. We do have the amazing Han behind the badge today, so I really do hope that you say hi to her, and she will be popping in all of the links. Also, if you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. Hey, Aditi.
Hi, Lydia, and hi, everyone.
Yeah. So, also, if we do have any questions, please let us know. Also, what you're playing with at the minute. We want to know what you're doing. I am so nosy. So even if you do have any kind of shout outs, maybe it's your birthday or your anniversary, just let us know. We're always happy to celebrate with everyone else as well. So hello there, everyone that has popped in. Hey, Susan. And thank you so much for sharing, everyone, as well. So, Aditi, what are you going to be playing with today?
Okay, so I am playing with a whole lot of May subscriptions, and I'm actually using pretty much all the subscriptions to create one single card. So I am showing people how you can mix and match something from each set to create this bold, vibrant card. So that's
I
what we are
love
going
it.
to be doing.
I am loving that stencil art. I have
Yeah.
to say it's one of my favorite stencils arts.
Right.
I know that the picture vases is sold out at the minute, everyone, but if you do sign up for the not inspiration, the link in the product page, it will give you an email when we do have new ones. They are on the way. They are on the way, we promise. Okie dokie. So I think I've done enough chatting. Do you want to pop yourself down and then we can kind of get a look at what you are working with? So everyone, today, Aditi is going to be going by herself. She's flying solo, and I'm just going to be shouting out all the comments that I feel I need to. And also, if you have any questions, I will relay those to her while she can kind of dig right in and get creating. So I'm going to remove myself from today, but I am keeping my audio. So we are going to be able to get a good look at the fabulous Aditi's work area. And over to you. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, Aditi. Happy 55th birthday, Vicky. And I'm glad that you've come and spent some time with us on your special day. All right, sorry, over to you.
Thank you. And happy birthday, Vicky, and welcome everybody. So, like I was saying, this is the card that I'm going to recreate today, and because I just thought it's fun to mix and match products from different sets to show you how everything can actually be used together. I love using the subscriptions, I love using the sets individually, but this is another thing I absolutely enjoy. So I am quickly going to first show you what I'm using, of course, like we discussed the Ditsy Flowers Wallpaper Stencil. Again, like Lydia said, my current favorite. And then the picture vases, we are going to be using this set. Now, the die that you see here is from, I think, last month's Mini Delight set. That's Fabulous Flowers. And I'm just using one particular die to cut out this window. So that's something that I'm using. Then from for all these florals, I have used the creative cuts in the wood set and just pulled out these florals. So I've already die cut those. So that's how I'm bringing in the creative cuts. And lastly, my sentiment is from the Tranquil Trail, the Builder Garden set, because this scripty sentiment with the matching die, I think is just perfect to add to our card. So that's about the basics supplies, and I'm using a variety of inks. So I am going to dive right in so that we can start. Now, what I have here are two panels, both are A2. One I'm going to use for my stenciling, and then one becomes the background once I die cut that window. So I'm going to set aside this piece for the backing, and I have this for my picture vases. I'll set that aside. And I am going to just pull out my most loved pink tainted sticky mat for all that beautiful stenciling. You can use your bigger mat, 9 by 12. I have somehow managed to keep it clean, and so I remove it very rarely. I enjoy just removing mine, the tainted one, over and over again, so that one stays clean and one can just be pink. Is yours pink too, Lydia?
Yes, one of them is, and it's bright pink. And I think it's the tickled pink ink that did
Yes,
it.
yes, I agree with you. Tickle pink is the one, as well as some of these, the bluish purples. They do it too. So I am going to lay out my first stencil, and I like the fact that the stencil is slightly bigger than my A2 panel. And what that does is it just helps me adhere the frame of the stencil down on the sticky mat, and that way my stencil stays in place.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's slightly larger because then I don't have to use any tape. I
Exactly.
really don't like using tape because I only
I
use
don't.
that when I need to.
Exactly. I don't either. That's something I refrain from. I like using my satin tape just to hold my die cuts in place, when I'm running it through the machine. That's the only time. So inks, I'm using the Red Sunset ink family, and I'm not using blush. I am using Rouge, Crimson, and Velvet for this stenciling here. Then from the Bubblegum Dreams family, I am going to pull out Fuchsia and Magenta. These are the two that, and Jazzberry actually, I need that too. Then we have the Tropical Tango set. So for my oranges, I am going to use Mandarin Burst, Tangerine Dream, and Red Jasper. So I am going to pull that out, set it aside. And then, of course, I am bringing back Pocket Full of Sunshine. So I have fresh lemon and honey drizzle. And for my greens, I'm using Whispering Woodland. So that's lime, fresh leaf, and reindeer moss. These are the inks. I will repeat them as I start ink blending, so don't worry if you've missed anything, but let me know if you need me to repeat anything at all apart from that.
I
So
am
now,
loving the bright colors that you have there. I
yeah,
think they're gonna look so pretty.
I'm a sucker for bright colors, so I'm happy when they're bright colors my way. So I will start off with rouge. And with a stencil like this, because it has multiple flowers, I like bringing different colors together. So, just a little bit about my thinking when it comes to the colors. If you notice, I've used warm colors. So I'm tending towards the warmer color tones, the reds, pinks, orange, going into yellow and green. So once I reach yellow and green, it slightly goes into the cool family, but because I'm using it with other warm colors, it just lends to being more warm. And that's the reason why I picked all of these colors together.
I do think that yellow brightens something up so well, even just adding a touch of it.
Right. I use that even just for inking the edges sometimes. I think that makes a huge impact.
Hey, Aram. Aram's just popped in.
I am. So, what I'm doing is two opposite corners, these smaller flowers and the bigger flowers. The base layer, I'm just inking it up with rouge to begin with to get a nice lighter tone down in place. And you could, again, for something like this, you could go um, not monochromatic as exactly, but you can use the same color across your stencil layers
Mhm.
if it gets too confusing. But I just, yeah, a little adventure hurts nobody, right?
So while you're just blending away with that, we did have a question from Sue about the two different inks. So, the main difference about the inks is, I would say, more than likely going to be the ink pad itself. So, with the smaller ones, the little mini inks that you have there, I'm not sure you're going to kind of see much of a difference. But with the larger ink pads, you do have the one that is the circle inks that we have now with the fresh ink. They are so much easier to open. Also, with the fresh ink, they do have a higher viscosity on these. So if you do struggle to kind of blend colors, these ones stay wetter for a little bit longer, so they are easier to blend. But I would say that those are kind of the main upsides for the fresh inks. Hopefully that helps.
Um, Another thing that I have noticed, because, like you mentioned, because of the fact that there's a slight change in the property, I think these are much juicier, and
Mm-hmm.
I notice that they stay more vibrant on my paper even when they dry out than the other inks. So, that being said, now rouge is done. I'm going to set this aside. And for this particular cluster on top, I am going to bring in fuchsia and add that on the base layer.
This
And
is
I mean,
such a vibrant color. It's so
it is.
pretty.
It is. I mean, the older Spring Garden set was one of my favorite, like go to sets, because it had these pinks, magenta, the green. You could
Mm.
create a set of cards just with that set. So I am so glad this was brought back in sets of four.
Yeah, we adopted them into different color families, so they adopted a another member to make them into
Yeah,
more.
that's true. And today I am using my mini blending brushes. These are brushes I most often reach out to. Just, I think, comfort. I've gotten so used to using them. These, and for finer areas, I then reach out to my micro blending brushes. So, and I know Lydia loves her small blending brushes because she told me this the last time, Lydia, because the last time we were live, you mentioned that you won't believe it, but while I was creating my cards for the upcoming release, I actually tried using small blending brushes on so many of my cards. And I think I'm falling in love with that idea too, slowly.
Yeah. If you're not doing small areas like this, I think the smalls are the way to go. I
Yeah.
think they create really, really good backgrounds. They don't, because the bristles are slightly longer, they don't grab as much ink, I don't think. So
Yeah,
they are softer when you start with them.
right. So they're good for background blends, background stencils. That's what I've been using them for. So now here, this cluster, I'm just going in with Mandarin Burst, so my lightest orange, to lay out that base. So you can actually see even my lightest colors aren't really the first colors in the color family. They're not too light. I've started off with the vibrant ones because this card is all about that bold and vibrant colors.
Yeah, so an easy way to make this lighter if you wanted to would be to start with the lightest color and then miss out the darkest one. So
Yeah.
you can get different looks just doing something simple like that.
So that is the first stencil done. I am going to set that aside and bring out the second stencil. Now I have used this. It's very easy for me to line up. Plus, I absolutely love the fact that we have, these etched
Etching. Yeah.
outline. Yeah. So it just makes it very easy to line it up. Of course, the layering guide is extremely useful. So if you are trying out a set for the first time, I would definitely suggest just follow the layering guide and then you get a hang of it. Now for the reds, I am moving to my second color. That's crimson. And I will get that down in place. And that will bring out that bold red that we need for this. And every flower in this stencil has a different, way it creates the next layer. So I think it just gives such a cool look. when you finish doing the whole thing.
Yeah, it does definitely give a lot of kind of makes it more dynamic rather than just having the same kind of flower but larger and smaller.
Yeah.
That way that
And
you've got the purple coming in from the side, it looks like lilac.
yeah.
It looks so pretty.
Oh. And a set like this, I mean, it can be. I have made a card with just the background and a versatile greeting sentiment on there, and that is a focal in itself. And then here, like, I've incorporated other elements, but if you watched JC's latest video using this, I think so many ideas even there, so many ways to use this particular set, really.
Yeah, it's so pretty. Even if you didn't want to use it as a whole background, the last live I was on, I actually cut this into bits so I could use the flowers themselves
Uh-huh.
to go in the picture vases.
Yeah, see, you can do that. You love fussy cutting. I trust you to do that.
I do like some fussy cutting.
Yeah. So the second layer is magenta for these flowers right here. And then I will move ahead to Tangerine Dream for the orange one.
This set as well, because it like just builds and builds, it just is so magical to me to see what like all of the layers come together
Right.
every time you have a new stencil. Also, it could be kind of intimidating thinking that you've got 7 stencils, but the way these line up so easily,
Yeah.
it just takes that away.
Look, I mean, this is stencil 3. I'm just following the lines here, the etched lines, and it's easy. Like I said, it just fits right in. It's like the puzzle pieces just fitting right in. Now I am going to, so here I had used orange. So I am, what this time I'm doing is for these two clusters, the smaller clusters, I'm going to bring back my fuchsia and magenta,
Oh, okay. Mixing it up now.
because yeah, mixing it up simply because then I like the orange, the flower base just being the highlight there and not having too much of that on my background. So
Oh,
I
okay.
thought that would be interesting to do. So going in with fuchsia, adding that to these smaller clusters, and these ones, like the entire cluster in the center, I will bring in the pop of yellow there. So is everybody talking about their set that they are playing with? Anybody has a favorite so
No,
far?
not yet. Let us know what I'd like to know is what was the first thing that you popped into your basket the last time you shopped?
That is interesting.
Yeah, because the first thing is the thing that you really wanted, right? So
Yeah,
I always think that that first thing, and then you just get carried away with the rest of the things that you pop in.
then there's no end to that.
Yeah, I do the same with flowers. I buy some and then I just keep going.
So I'm bringing in fresh lemon right there on all these larger florals in the center.
That looks so pretty and so bright. That fresh lemon is literally like a sherbet lemon, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Joy's first thing that she popped into her last shop was a perfect picker. Oh,
Oh, nice. A tool. That is really interesting.
yeah.
So stencil 3 done. I am moving on to stencil 4.
So I do
Again,
think with the perfect picker, it's one of those things that you didn't think you needed. And then when
right.
you get it, you're like, oh, actually, this makes sense.
That's true. That is so true.
I did the
especially,
same with the sticky mat and the tweezers. The tweezers, I was
yeah,
like, I'm not going to use tweezers all the
exactly.
time. All the time, I use them.
That happened with me too. I hadn't yet gotten the tweezers, and then I was like, I think I really do need them. And like you said, I use my tweezers all the time for anything
Yeah.
and everything. Tweezers.
I know.
So
I
the
was like,
second layer, I am just going in with honey drizzle here, just to let everybody know. I think I've skipped maple yellow, which comes in
yeah.
after fresh
Honey
lemon.
drizzle is the best, though. That is the best yellow.
Yeah, and it adds that perfect depth that we need to these yellow flowers. So that is done, and I'm going back in with magenta, and I already went in with crimson, so I will go in with velvet on this particular cluster at the bottom.
Mm. So Carrie said her first order from the new release had picture vases in. I think a lot of first orders will have those picture vases, and then she got the mushroom cottages because it was half off in the app. There we go. Sue's waiting for the picture vases. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
them coming in. They're winging their way. They are winging their way.
I mean,
And
they
Joy,
are so adorable, and I think, yeah, everybody needs to have them.
yeah, they are so cute. And the fact that you can get them through the mini blossom, I think is
Yes,
really cool.
yeah.
Joy ordered the 9x12 sticky mat, but is afraid to get it inky. Don't be afraid to get it inky. The
You have to.
only thing that's going to be wasted is if you don't use it. So,
That's true. That is true.
yeah.
In fact, I remember for a long time, I refused to get my 9 by 12 mat inked up. And then for the first time ever, I just used it on during my class, you know,
Yep. Just
one
get
of
it
the
out, use it.
educated
Otherwise,
classes.
it's just a waste. Hey,
Exactly.
Avie. Avie's popped in too.
Hi, Avi. So you just popped in. You're good.
Okay.
So that is done. I am moving ahead to stencil 7, and that starts the leaves.
Yep.
So now you'll slowly see everything just coming together and just creating this beautiful, beautiful, vibrant floral pattern.
Vicky has the Craft a Flower cherry blossom in her cart. So it's sat there. If you were to get the cherry blossom branch, this is a question, Aditi. What would you think that would go perfect with it?
The new cherry blossom branch,
Yeah, the Craft a Flower one, the most recent.
I I used it with the Creative Cuts door set. I absolutely love how that looks, the backdrop. I
Oh,
have
okay.
used it with the bricks. I don't know what that's called, but in the
The press plate.
CYL, you know, no, the Craft Your Life arched foliage kit has
Oh,
this
yes.
amazing embossing folder. So I paired it with that, and that looks fantastic as well. So because the flowers in itself are huge, so they make for a really great, focal element. So I would say pairing them up with embossing folders and pairing them up with the Creative Cuts doors, you can create such beautiful scenes. Also, the bicycle from Tranquil Trail, this one right here. I think
Yeah,
this would be
some good
so,
things to mix and match.
yeah, yeah.
We're so glad you made it, Evie. Vicky also has the Be Strong die for
Oh, yeah.
someone that she's going to send a card to. I really think that she will appreciate that, Vicky, to have something nice and bold and bright, maybe.
Uh-huh. So I am using lime for my base layer for all these leaves on this particular stencil. And you can see, I mean, ever since we've just begun coloring, it goes fast. It doesn't take too long to kind of blend in because these aren't too huge. So you can quickly just go in, add your color, and move to the next stencil.
Yeah, and you've been doing this while we've been chatting, and you haven't taken, I would say, any more than 20, 25 minutes.
Exactly. So that
But I
is
mean, it
done.
may seem like it's going to take that long, but it doesn't. And it just builds up, and and the colors that you've used just make you smile, I think,
Yeah.
every time you lift that up.
So that, and
Thank you everyone for liking and sharing. It does mean a big deal to us that you're here with us and spending your precious time with us. So hopefully, if you aren't part of the Altenew fan page, you might want to go and take a look over there. We have lots of inspiration going on there with other members from the group who add in their beautiful designs.
absolutely. So now this stencil, number 5, it has leaves. It also has flower centers. So I'm just going to switch between colors here. But first I am going to just use fresh leaf and get my leaf clusters all inked up. And I don't think anybody caught that, but you know what I did? I went in with stencil 7 before this one, and it didn't make a huge difference. I still have leaves in the background, and I'm going in with the next set of leaves. And that's the thing about this. Like, even if you've missed one stencil and jumped ahead, it's not going to make a huge difference with your layers, because some way or the other, you know that it perfectly lines up and you will get that final look.
These greens are just so delicious. I love a lime green.
Even the cardstock, I must say, the limeade cardstock, I tend to use that a lot, like for my base leaves for dyes, and then ink it up.
Oh, yeah. I think the cardstock that I've used the most of, and which I really didn't think I would, is the pumpkin pie. Because I am loving that for a really kind of mustardy background at the minute. I don't know what it is. I'm just addicted to it.
Yeah. I mean, all the colors, I think, just well, I mean, they're so coordinated with our inks. And, if you want to use it for a background, if you want to use it for die cards, it really works
Yeah.
perfectly, especially when you have the coordinated ink family and the cardstock.
Yeah, it just surprised me, because you get some cardstock and you think, oh, well, I'm going to get rid of the gray first, but then like a really random color is the one that you need to ask for replacement for first. I was like,
Yeah. Because
okay.
see, I never thought I would love using colored cardstock. I was always a white and black cardstock girl. I never thought until, Crafty Necessities cardstock came out, and I started using it, and sometimes it makes life easy, I must admit. So the flower center right here for my corner red flower, I'm just bringing in jazzberry. It's quite a dark color, and it's going to work perfectly well for most of the flower centers here.
I also feel because I have done this before, I forgot about the flower centers and I just went all over with the green. If
Yeah,
you're going to do that, that's fine. Flower centers can be green too.
exactly. I agree. I agree. It's not a big deal. So now on to this, and I will just align that, my last stencil right here. And I'm just going in with jazzberry, like I mentioned, and I will add that to all of these flower center layers because it's a darker color and it works very well on all of these flowers.
Yeah, you can mix and match color families, all the colors work with themselves, so you don't need to worry too much.
Right. Unless, of course, you're bringing in contrasts and then you end up making a brown, and you're not happy about that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm okay with a brown flower center as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that I'm good with. Especially when oh no, yeah, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It will be fine. That's true. So I'm just going in with the darkest reindeer moss to bring in that really vibrant green to add depth and shading to some of the leaves. And some places I'm going over the flower center, and like Lydia said, I'm not too bothered about that really. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, these flower centers are tiny as well.
Yeah. So you need to use a micro blending brush if you really are particular about having different
Yeah.
colors there.
I'm just excited to see the reveal because this is the
Yeah.
last one. This is where you get to
This
see it
is
all.
yes. Oh, are you ready? Is everybody ready? And ta-da!
I just love it so much. The colors that you've chosen as well just makes me smile.
Yeah.
Joy, the sentiment that says "just breathe" is actually on the Build a Garden Tranquil Trails, and you can see that we have that beautiful font on there as well. In the stamp set, you do have that very cute little vintage bicycle as well as the flower cluster arch thing.
Yeah. So I'm going to set this aside, and while I'm at ink blending, while I'm doing all of that, I am going to bring my tiny flowers that I had die cut from the In the Woods set, and I will just color these up quickly so that then all the ink blending bits are complete, and then all I need to do is die cut and assemble. See, it doesn't take too long.
No, it doesn't. And I love the fact that we have these kind of smaller elements in the creative cuts. So you can really change it up. It can be masculine, it can be feminine, it can be whatever you want it to be.
The card that I made using this, I can show at the end, um, is an interactive card. And I've again just brought in too many elements in that, but I love that card too with this set. So now I am going to bring in what is that? The blush for the flowers, because I have so much bold, vibrant color on the background.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to keep these flowers lighter and pale just so that they stand out against that background. If I ended up using the same brighter tones, then everything just gets lost on that lovely background. So I'm going to use blush and add tiny bit of ink blending, just leaving the flowers, that soft pink right there.
So the arch that you have going on there reminds me of like a really old world kind of window that you're
Mm-hmm.
looking into the vase. It is very pretty. I love what you've done.
Thank you. So just adding touches of blush, and right at the center, I'm leaving the tips white just to, have a softer look there. So I'm just
Carrie,
sticking.
yes, you might be able to use these little flowers with the parchment bouquet. They would give it like a
Yes,
really tiny little flower, which would be
yes,
very
yes, you
cute.
can. Definitely.
Tranquil Trail is sold out.
Oh, okay.
But you can sign up for the back in stock notification. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that had gone.
It will come back soon. Don't
It will
worry.
come back. And if you sign up for the notification, you'll be the first one to know, one of the first ones to know that it is back. And you can quickly get it there, get it in your thing, and just make sure that it's in your basket and then into your post box.
Yes. So I am just, my blending tool with the Fusion Magenta. It, of
Mm-hmm.
course, has a little ink left. I'm going in with that very light-handedly and just a pop right there at the center to add a little bit of that pop. So then this flower looks dimensional when I assemble and put it all together. So
Yeah,
that,
you don't always need to ink your mini blending tools. I reckon if I had to go at mine now, even though I haven't inked them up, there would be a lot of ink on there.
exactly. See, even yellow. I just use the remaining to ink blend that, and I can then just pick a little more, and that layer is anyway going to get covered in, so I don't have to worry too much. I then have green left over on my blending tool, so I'm just going in with that until I really feel the need to pick in more color. Even for the leaf, I'm just using whatever remaining color I have.
And it's just going to make it so much softer as well.
Exactly. So I'm going to go in with a little lime. So that stays soft and nice. So that is done. Now the flower centers, I think what I have done here is the topmost layer is yellow. So I'm not picking more ink. And then everything else, I'm just going to use lime and add that there. Again, I don't have my layering guide for this out because it is so simple to assemble these with that fabulous keyhole system. I am going to just put these together quickly.
No, don't worry. We've got time. And even if we go over, I'm sure no one's going to worry. Yeah. More crafting time? Oh, no. That's what everyone's thinking. Oh, no. Don't give me any more crafting time.
No one ever said that, right?
No, not at all.
So, Lydia, tell me, yeah, I can. I've seen people use, right? Something
The
that's
glue?
upcoming. Yeah,
Yeah, get it out. Get it out. Look,
right.
we don't want to stop using this. So just use it.
I'm
I
right
can't
here.
stop using it.
Exactly. So the glue is out here, and I am going to use that to put my flower layers together. I really don't, I mean, for these are such tiny layers. I'm not going to worry about which goes at the base, which goes at the
Oh,
top.
no.
I am just going to line it up with that beautiful keyhole system right there. And I like to add glue all around that keyhole system. And the best part about this one is it dries clear. Absolutely love that about it.
Oh, I love it. The nozzle on this is probably one of the smallest I've ever used. And I have to say, hand on heart, mine has not clogged to date, and I've been using mine for a good while.
Oh, mine hasn't clogged either till date. So yeah.
And even if it did, you guys get a
Mm.
little pokey
Yeah,
thing with it
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Pokey things, like, you know, the technical term that we use all the time. But yeah. Joy said that the Altenew ink pads were the first she purchased when getting back into card making. I'm so glad that you did, because I think that our ink pads are really good. And the kind of breadth of colors that we have, I think that it's good.
That is true. I love the ink pads. You know by now I love color, so of
You
course I
love
love.
the boldest colors. They're yours. So, a question, because
Uh-huh.
I'm a bit of a rebel, right?
Yeah.
If you weren't live right now and you were at home just doing this by yourself, would you put that bottom piece on of the flower center with the keyhole in?
Would
So
I?
the flower center was perfectly placed, or would you miss it out?
Yeah, I have so many times lost pieces. I wouldn't bother.
Mm,
I
I'm,
wouldn't.
yeah, no, I sometimes I put them on, but then I think, oh, it's okay if it's a little skew whiff. But if you do want the perfect placement that's just exactly how it is on the packaging, you can go ahead and use that as well.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes small pieces, by the time I end up assembling them, they're already gone somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes it's just, you know what I also love doing in that case, then I just use my either the gel pens or the acrylic markers, and I just go and add
Oh,
dots.
yeah. Or like an enamel dot. That's a good flower
Yeah,
center. But
exactly.
I
Exactly.
have to say, I haven't lost nearly as many as I would normally now that we've got the sticky mat, because you can just stick it on there
Yeah.
and it just stays, right?
See, the thing is, all the losing of these pieces happens from the die cut machine onto the sticky mat.
Yes, that's the worst. That sometimes I think it just eats them.
Honestly, it does.
Yeah, and
Sometimes it's stuck on that acrylic plate and you don't notice it.
yeah, and they can actually get inside those machines. One time I had my husband open mine up because it wasn't working like I wanted it to. And
Uh-huh.
he's a mechanic, and I thought, oh, he works with wheels and cars. He can fix my die cutting machine. But yeah, there were so many bits in it. So many.
So see, I'm sure I've not put this the right way, the way it was supposed to go, but it still looks like a flower to me. It's
Yeah,
fine. I don't
all
mind.
flowers are perfectly imperfect, and it just makes them
Exactly.
perfect that they're different.
So that's done, and I'm going to see tweezers in action for
Yeah.
any small thing. So that is done. That is out.
Mentioning my husband as well, he actually, I would say not stole, but he took my first pair of tweezers because he was like, these are good. I can use these. Oh really? Can you? I was using them. Some things get misplaced, like pencils. Pencils are the worst thing.
Yeah, pencils and pens. I never know who comes in and takes them away.
No, it's the kids.
So I am going to just fetch my mini blossom right here.
I love the fact that it fits through the mini blossom. So if you did want to take this traveling, like, you could definitely do so with this. Also, the packaging that we have on this die set is so cool.
It is.
Because we have a space for where they're supposed to go back on the packaging now. I don't
Yes,
think we've had that before.
we
And
didn't.
also, it's shiny.
So that's the thing I love too. Like there's that outline, like you said, so you know where to put your dies back.
Because at the minute, obviously, we do have the number of dies that are in a set. So once I've used all the dies, because I can't just take one off and then put it back on where it's supposed to go, I literally take all the dies off and then I have to count them to make sure I
Yeah.
haven't lost any. Soon, that will be a thing of the past.
So I have cut the vase first and then I'm going to emboss it, just lining it up perfectly there with my, so I can just
Do
put it in.
you use tape when you put yours in, or you just...
No, I didn't use tape.
You're
I
so brave. I
didn't.
tape mine.
So that is gone in. Now, did you find a perfect sandwich? Because I
Oh, see,
figured,
I have used a lot of different sandwiches. So Avi, one before we go to the sandwich, Avi said that she has 3 pairs of the Altenew tweezers because she keeps losing them. So for the sandwich, I have used a normal sandwich, so like a thick plate and a thin plate. I've
uh-huh.
also used 2 thin plates because you get 2 thin plates in a pack, right? With the
Okay.
thicker plate. And I think the 2 thin plates works, but it does give you kind of a little bit smaller impression, but it works perfectly.
Okay, so what I found works for me, I'm using the thicker plate at the bottom and
Mm-hmm.
then embossing folder and just running that through.
See, I think there is all different ways. Also, it depends on your very own mini blossom. Now, with
Yeah.
all die cutting machines, you will have a slightly different kind of squish to everyone else. Not all machines are made equal. So just give yours a go. Don't force it, but also let it know that it will take a little bit of turning.
So I am going to show you that
Oh, you thought it was a cat?
right there. See? And that worked. I've got that beautiful texture embossed. And that is, so I can just bring back my sticky mat and I am going to now ink this up with Tangerine Dream to bring that vibrant orange right there in the middle. So, the orange takes the limelight when you look at the center of the color. Okay, good.
Oh,
Look.
Kelly's sad that she didn't get the picture vases. Don't worry. Just sign up for the back in stock notification I can say that we do have some actually winging the way to the warehouse. So as soon as they are kind of put on the website, if you're signed up for those notifications, you will get an email to let you know that they are ready and raring to go.
Yes, that notification is very helpful. You get an email and you can just quickly go and add that to your cart, check it out, and you will not miss it the second time.
No, once you know that you wanted it and it's gone. The second time, when that email appears, you're like, right, got it sorted. Also, a trick of mine that I have, which is probably not a trick or a hack or just a way of me spending more money, is that I already have a lot of stuff in my cart ready and raring to go. And then I wait for the email. And then when the email comes, I'm like, yep, add it in. And then I get everything all in one go.
That is smart.
Again, it's probably flowers.
It
All
is.
right.
So I'm just using layers of the same ink, tangerine dream, and I've inked it up lighter in the center, just gone ahead and darkened it out at the edges to create this
Yeah, it
illusion of it.
definitely looks rounded now.
Yeah, so just to do that, so that is done. And I am going to assemble my flowers first onto this so that I have them glued right
Oh,
in.
so you're gonna do that first before you know how big that window is gonna be?
Actually, I'll wait, you're right.
No, I was just like that. Wow. Okay, you can
Yeah,
you
I mean,
can you can
I could,
eyeball it from there. I was
but you're right.
impressed.
I mean, because I can adjust the bottom, so I was
Mhm.
just thinking it's a good idea. And a great thing about these, I have to show you guys, it comes with this slit, so you
Oh,
can
it's so
actually
good.
tuck your florals and stems inside right there, and it looks like it's sitting inside the vase. Isn't that so clever?
It's so good.
So I'm going to start with that, get that down in place. And I know that I want one flower right here covering that, opening in there. So I'm going to glue that one down. And these two I will do later because I've used some foam tape.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going to
I
add
do love that color of that flower that you've got on there. I wouldn't have used that kind of purpley color with that blush color, but I
blush
think
color.
it looks so pretty.
And just one thing I love doing, I just use my fingers and I kind of just curl the petals a bit, adding more dimension, making them a little more realistic. I'm not using any fancy tools. I am just using my fingers. You could use tweezers as well and kind of go in and curl that, but a little dimension right there. So that I'm going to set this aside, and now we can cut our window. And the coolest thing, if okay, wow, okay, I have it right here. I can show you. Now, the great thing about this is you can make two cards out of this. So, this is the window cut
Oh,
out, and I just went in and colored it with my black marker. And I have to use this, but you see, just the same piece right there, and
that
you
is
can make
so pretty. I love that with a dark background.
it around. Yeah, so you can do that, two cards for one, basically. So what I like is, say, when I'm die cutting, I die cut multiples so that if I'm doing something like this, then I have, floral elements, I have the background, and I can make one a busy layered style card and the other one can be a little more simpler.
Mm.
I was going to say clean and simple, but then that's my definition of clean and simple.
Yeah, I think everyone's got a different definition of clean and simple. I try clean and simple and then I just add more things because I think, oh, there's not enough on there. But I
Exactly.
love how Aga can do her clean and simple cards and just leave it.
Yeah. So I am going to pull out now. Where did that go? So I'm going to use just that art die from my Mini Delight Fabulous Flowers set right here. Now this is again a personal choice. So I'm just going to quickly just show that to you. You could do it, centered in. You could do it offset, kind of just down there. Anything that you like.
It's
You
just
can
going to add a different look every time, right?
exactly. So what I was looking at is I want to have at least all of the colors shown on my background. And that's how I just ended up kind of bringing it somewhere here, which is not exactly. So I'm not using a ruler. I'm not doing measurements like JC does. I am just eyeballing this.
Yeah,
And
that's my way too.
yeah,
I am confused. Sorry, Joe, I can't see the cat. I need an explanation of how this cat is working.
how is what working?
Joy said that she's the picture vases, she's seeing a cat.
Is it because of I don't know. Is
I don't know.
this?
I don't know. I
I don't
need an
know.
explanation. And I think Erin may have saw the cat somewhere, but I don't know. I don't know where it is. My mind's not letting me see it. I love the fact, though, that people can see different things with the same thing. Oh, an orange cat. So is the handle the tail?
Oh, that is
Maybe.
really?
I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Even with you moving it around.
Oh, maybe it's like I get it. Look, it's like in this sitting position with the tail. Is that what they're saying? I think that's what she's saying. Yeah. I mean, I think this is what she's saying, but I don't see it.
Oh,
See it.
she's someone saying that maybe the the lip or the kind of spout is an ear. Maybe? Oh, and the other ear is hidden behind the flowers.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
So then that would be cool. Could you please use it as a cat in your card? I think that would be so cool. Like
Yeah, I
stretching
need
your
to see it.
life.
Add it if you're gonna do it. Please add it to the Facebook group, the
Yes, yes. And
fan page.
at least and tag Lydia and me. I would love to see that. So I am going to use the new thick 1/8 inch foam tape to bring
Oh,
in dimension because I love
this is
dimension.
luxurious tape, I think.
Yes. So I'm setting this aside. Like I said, you can make another card. Now you see both the looks, they are so different. Just with
You
the
could
dark.
use two of those to create like a long oval. So if you turn one of them on over,
Yeah,
there.
there you go. Wow.
And you're nearly matching up the flowers there as well. You did so good.
Yes. And then you could also just punch holes and use these as gift tags. That would be cool
Oh,
too.
they would be so cute.
Yeah, just gift tags. So yeah, see, with one thing you can do multiple things, and that's what I wanted to show you. Like each set Altenew creates isn't just limited to one single thing. There's just so much you can do to kind of stretch it all out there. So first, I am going to apply my foam tape and use my scissors, which doesn't stick onto the foam tape, and I love that.
So this is the kind of foam tape you use for people that you really like.
That's true.
I love this foam tape. And even the like kind of backing paper, I wish I could find some way to use it.
Yeah,
Because I always
you're
feel
right.
really bad about just peeling it off and just popping it in the bin.
On the fan group, I've seen so many people upcycling these backings,
Mm-hmm.
the black wrapping, and it's so clever. All the things. Recently, I saw a video on Instagram. What she did was She used the artist marker packaging and trimmed it all down and created a card with that. Can you believe that?
Ah, that's such a good idea because it's something that you'd probably just pop in the recycling anyway.
Yeah, so that was very clever. And it was such a beautiful layered card. So that, and I'm going to just check. I think that works for me. So now this is where I will play around and see where the elements need to go. Now for this particular one, I just cut "Have a beautiful day" just to have a different sentiment on this card. And this is how I am going to just put the vase inside right there, tucked in. So you're not seeing too much of the base really, but it's tucked in. And that's the thing. I'm going to first glue this down inside before I adhere that front panel. So I'm going to use my glue.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to someone creating a cat card. So
Yes, please, whoever saw the card.
please do. We're all going to be in the fan group going, right, who's going to make the first cat card?
So just holding that down in place, tucking it in right there. And I haven't really applied glue all the way there. I sometimes like the fact that it looks, upraised there. Just adds more dimension. That's about it.
Yeah, because it gives that shadow, so it gives the dimension.
Yes. So now I can remove the tape and add my top panel. So like everybody's been saying, I've just been eyeballing stuff. I am not really too precise, but I just hold it in place. So I am, oops, no. Yeah, all good.
Careful. It's
Yeah,
grabby stuff, that tape.
yeah, it is. So I am
Sue,
going
I am going to let you know that you're not going to have to wait too long for the glue. But I don't think I don't think I can give you an exact date, but I know it's not long. Okay?
there you go. So that is down in place. And now I'm going to trim a little bit of this because anyway, it's not going to be seen.
Yeah, if you don't need it, don't have it. You can always trim it. It's only cardstock, right?
Right, that is true. Again, just curling up the petals a little bit. And I will add my
If we
glue.
do have a huge cry for a cat dye, I will pass it on to the team.
Oh. That is funny. So I'm just tucking that in, and that is all down in place. Now, all this needs is splatter. So I am going to bring in my black splatter. I tend to use acrylic ink. I don't know, I've always used acrylic ink for my splatters. And I don't use my precious watercolor paintbrushes from Altenew for splatter. I use dirty paintbrushes for
Oh,
this.
it's what you get used to as well, I think.
Yeah,
Like, for sentiments, I'm all for an acrylic block because, that's what I started with and I'm just used to it. I feel like I have a little bit more control. I probably don't. If I use the stamp wheel, I would get a better impression. But in my
but
mind,
yeah. And I do like to add, so for a card like this, I do like to add white splatter. Black just adds that pop of contrast, ties in beautifully with my black sentiment. And white, particularly here, like the focal point, kind
just
of
brightens
draws.
it up. Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry, Tracy. You can always watch the replay, and we will have plenty more lives for you coming up, so don't worry too much.
And then I can bring in this thinner tape. Why do I have? Okay, right here. So same depth. I'm using the 1/8 inch for the sentiment too, but part of the sentiment is just going to rest here on my panel, and I just need tape on part of it. So that's just
a
how
tiny touch.
tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do blocks all the way. I do love a good acrylic block. Oh, Carrie's saying she likes gouache for splatter.
That, yeah, see, some people love gouache for splatter. I've heard that one. So I am going to add a touch of glue. Now, again, this is just how I roll. I haven't really waited for the splatter to dry. I am
Oh,
just,
who can wait that long, right?
right, yeah. So that is that. And then I have my sequence. So I am going to use, I had it out right here. Where did it go? The, so I'm just using the sparkly gold that I have, but not really giving out too much. But yes, this is a nice shiny gold, and I am going to add that sequence for that perfect touch of bling. And I like to add mine in threes, so I'm just tucking it in places. Now before that dries out, I'm quickly going to,
See, tweezers again. Who knew?
yeah, always.
Yeah, I know. Before these tweezers, though, I was picking up sequins with my fingers, and you would
Exactly.
struggle so bad. But you're like, I don't need tweezers.
That is true. So that, and just like in threes, like I was talking about, I like creating this imaginary kind of a triangle. And I think sequins or any embellishment, like, enamel dots, anything really, just adds movement to the card, kind of creating that sense of flow between all the elements, everything that you've put together. So it beautifully connects my pattern right here, the sentiment to that flower vase and the flowers. So I think it just does a really good job with connecting all.
Especially like sequins, they just catch the eye,
Yeah,
right? If you could be walking past something and you could just see a little glint, and then you'll like look again, you do a double take to see what it was, and then you get to see your card again.
right. So that have to go this way. And I like tucking part of it in. So, it's just peeking through at a few places. And I think that also just adds more interest. So, yeah, that is it. That is
I
this.
think that is beautiful. And even though you've made the cards the same,
They're
they
different,
still
right?
look slightly different.
Yeah, I was just wondering that too. Like, okay, wait, let me put this aside. And I was looking at them and I thought to myself, they still look different because see, I replaced the orange flowers here
Yeah,
with the pop of pink, and
I
that
am
just looks
loving
like,
that color.
yeah,
It just looks like lavender to me. No, lilac, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like you should be able to smell it, but I think it looks really good.
yes, I'm
Right.
happy with
Yes.
this.
Everyone, please let us know if you have any questions. Because if not, we are at the end. We are a little bit over, but free, extra crafting time. No one's going to complain about that. So yeah, Christine, I'm not seeing the cat either.
I'm
So
not here.
I am still hoping that someone on the fan group is gonna create the cat so I can see it. Yeah, he's hiding from me. I think he is hiding from me. Okay, righty-ho. Oh, Aditi, did you want to pop yourself back up so we can say goodbye?
Yes.
Hello. All right. Okay, let me just check the chat. Just had to do a quick switcheroo with the cameras. So yeah, some people are not seeing the cat. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to see the cat when it gets done in the fan group.
Yes.
So yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you to the amazing Aditi for creating such a beautiful, bold chef's kiss card. I don't think that we have any questions. I think we're just getting a uproar of, gratitude for your amazingly beautiful
Thank
card.
you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, again for being here. Thank you to the amazing Han for popping in all of those links. We don't queue her up beforehand. She is just that quick. And thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing, liking, and also if you are here and you've just kind of popped in, it would be great if you do subscribe. We are a fabulous community and we would love to see you more on our page. Again, thank you so much for everyone. We really do hope that you have a fabulous weekend and that this live has just got you inspired to run to your craft room and go and get crafty. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.